Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a short video. I was thinking about this topic before, a couple of months ago, but I didn't know really how to make it into a video, so I'm just gonna freestyle here. But it's the question about, should you choose the intense version of a fragrance if you're gonna blind buy, or should you go with the original? And it's not just a yes or no answer and choose that or this. It depends basically on the fragrance, of course. But I think it is a little bit more complex than just trying different fragrances, because it is how you are as a fragrance connoisseur, what you like, what you don't like. Do you like the more fresh and clean fragrances, or do you like the more heavy fragrance with a more intense push that is more long lasting, better projecting, and also better longevity overall on your skin? So I have some fragrances here that are basically not exactly intense. Not every one of these are intense versions, but there are versions of the original. So some of them I would choose and some of them I won't choose, and I'm gonna go into that a little bit more deeper why it's a complicated topic if you're gonna blind buy. Some people ask me, should I go for the intense version, should I go for the original version? I'm gonna blind buy, you know. So if you can't really smell, it's gonna be hard. But these are some popular fragrances that might help someone out there to buy these fragrances. So the first one is Dolce Gabbana The One, and I know this is not an intense version, it's just a parfum version, but I feel that this could be named Dolce Gabbana The One Intense instead, because it is more intense than the original. It has more depth to it. It is a little bit more mature smelling, this one, than the original. So just because you like the original Dolce Gabbana Eau de Toilette, it doesn't mean you're gonna like this, because this is different. This is more mature, it is more pungent, it is more heavy in how it presents itself. So sure, this is more longer lasting than the original, but then you can come into the topic, what do you like? Me, I like the more fresher scent. So if I'm gonna choose today which one I would buy if I only have one choice, I would go with the Eau de Toilette instead of this, actually, and that might be a controversial topic in this community, but I don't really care, because I want to help you guys who don't really like these heavy, pungent type of smells. So this is an example that I would actually choose the original before this one, because it is more light. Okay, it doesn't perform as good as this, but I just spray a little bit more and I'm good with that. So I'm more into how it smells than only thinking about the performance and the longevity. That's just me. Another example where I think the original is actually better in the sense of the smell is with Dolce Gabbana Light Blue Intense. And yes, this is more intense, but this is also, could be for some people a little bit more annoying than the original. Some people say that this has this egg vibe. It's really salty. It smells like salt water, and some people say it smells like, you know, egg or something like that. I don't really feel that 100%, but I know where you're coming from, guys. So if you are, I don't know, if you don't like the salty beach vibe kind of smell, I would go for the original instead of this, actually. Even though this is a great fragrance, but it's just my personal preference that I like the original more, just smell-wise. I don't talk about performance today and longevity. I know this performs better than the original, of course, but nowadays when I have come into this hobby a little bit deeper, I don't really care that much about performance. I just spray more, and I think the smell of a fragrance or the scent itself is the most important for me. So just keep that in mind. Everyone talks about how's the performance, how's the longevity. Just spray more if it's weak, basically. So that's another one. I don't have Dior Homme or Dior Homme Intense because I can't stand iris. But that's another thing they're pretty different, I feel. Dior Homme is a little bit, especially the 2020 version, is much more easier to wear than Dior Homme Intense. Yes, Dior Homme Intense is better performing, it is longer lasting, but it has that lipsticky iris that a lot of people don't like because it's leaning towards this metrosexual unisex type of vibe. Smells like lipstick. Basically, I don't like it, but I know the fragrance community hype Dior Homme Intense like this, like a gift from God. Another middle ground in the Dior Homme department is a Dior Homme Sport instead, because it is a little bit fresher than the original Dior Homme. It is not feminine as the Dior Homme Intense, I feel. And it is fresh and clean and more masculine overall. So that's why I choose this one. So it's not only should you choose the intense version or should I choose the original version. It's a little bit more complicated than that. But if I want to recommend one of these three from Dior Homme, I would go with the Sport. Another one that I would actually choose the flanker instead of original is Acqua di Gio Profumo that I mentioned in a previous video, because this smells pretty similar to the original Acqua di Gio, but it has more punch, but the smell is not intense in the way that is thickened up to something that a lot of people don't like. This is almost more mass appealing than the original. It is a little bit different in a scent, of course, but I would rather go with this one if you want the intenser version of the original Acqua di Gio DNA than, for example, Profumo, but because Profumo adds this incense, it adds these smoky nuances that could be overwhelming for some people. So I don't recommend that as a blind buy if you haven't tried that before and you just want a stronger version of the original. So that's something to keep in mind if you love the original Acqua di Gio DNA. Then I would go with this one instead of the original, because it is mass appealing, it is likable, like the 95 original Acqua di Gio, but it is better and longer lasting, modern smelling, and equal compliments you get from this. So it is complex. Another one that I won't go into depth in today, it is La Nuit de l'Homme. You know, this is a flanker of L'Homme, and this one is, if you like the spicy fragrances, if you like the winter fragrances, if you like the cardamom, go with this one. But if you are more like me, more versatile, easier to like, you can wear like L'Homme, the original L'Homme, workplace, date, all around. Then I would choose the original, because it's a more versatile fragrance. If you are more into the fresher scents, more all around, easy to like scents. But if you are a guy who likes more creamy fragrances, spicy fragrances for the winter time, I would go with this one if you are leaning towards more the depth of a specific fragrance. So I don't know if that makes any sense. I just had that thought in my head. Another one is actually this that I only have as a little sample. It's Acqua di Parma Colonia Intensa. I love the original Acqua di Parma Colonia, but I'm not a big fan of the Intensa, because now they're trying to push it again. They're trying to push the intensity in the fragrance, and that, I don't know. They added some, I don't know what the notes, what they put, what the notes is in this one, but they added some form of smokiness. I don't know if they have some smoky vibe in this one, like a heavier base of some cedar wood or oud or what is in this one that differentiate it from the original Acqua di Parma Colonia. But then I would go with the original because it smells better, in my opinion. It is fresher, it is not long lasting. This is more longer lasting than the original. But scent-wise, we're talking about today, just scent-wise, go for the original there. So not every time is the intense version the better fragrance, I feel, by just smelling it. So that was the video of today. Hope it can help some of you guys out there. Let me know in the comment section which fragrance that you like better on the intense version than the original. Thanks for watching. See you the next time. Peace.